Hey girly, it's me. How you doing? I got your message on the gram, and so this is for you. All right, regarding you know who. All right. Wait, let me. Okay. All right, girl, we got amethyst. Okay. So let me just read about amethyst before I get into the tarot. All right. You are being urged to embrace your shadow side at this moment. Take an inventory of all those aspects of yourself that you are afraid to show the world because you perceive them to be bad or inadequate. Meditate on these qualities. Acknowledge them, see how they serve both you and others, then love them and bring them into your heart. When you realize that every aspect of you serves a purpose, there will be no need to deny half of who you are. Just be yourself and understand that there is nothing in your life that you need to fix. There are simply aspects of yourself yearning to be embraced and loved. This is a time of profound change in your life right now, a time of positive transformation which will have a lasting impact on every area of your life and to some degree on those around you. So, girlie, you got the amethyst card. So, what I've been doing as I started this is I kind of start with general, this will give me the general theme around the reading. And so, so the theme has to do with like, there's some shadow work that needs to do, that you need to do. Focus on yourself and realize that, you know, um, there's parts of yourself that need to, be embraced. That little girl in all of us women um, that are affected, especially, and it comes out in interpersonal relationships, right? They just come out, you know what I'm saying? Like, you think, like, yeah, I got my shit together, but then, it takes other people that push our buttons and let us know, like, wow, we have some healing that we still need to do. And so this amethyst card really kind of speaks to those parts, that part of yourself that still needs to be healed, but as they're being healed, like the way to heal it is to actually accept that part of yourself. A lot of times the amethyst card comes out when, people have like repeated patterns within themselves they just don't want to see. So what happens is, like, we look at our partner and we don't like things about them, not realizing that we actually attracted them, right? Because all we are magnets and mirrors, right? So we are magnets and mirrors. So they say that, opposites attract. No, like attracts like. So a lot of times when we're looking at that other person, they kind of exhibit some type of quality that we are not really willing to look at within ourselves. And again, it might not be the behavior, right? It might be that core thought that that person has about themselves that might actually match your frequency, but they present it differently. You know what I'm saying? All right, so let me pull out another card for my girl regarding, all right. Okay. So this is called Reinvent Self. You see that, girly? So, I mean, I'm sorry. This is about, I wrote that on there. This is about, because I took notes when I was studying this deck earlier. So that's a 34. So that's a 7. So it's called A Leg Up, right? So you see this cute little polar bear getting on his mama, right? So it's a 7. So this is a very spiritual time for you right now. 7, numerically. In numerology, 7 is a very, very spiritual number. So when we read about this, and again, I'll get into the tarot, but like these oracle cards kind of like give a lot of information too, right? It is, let's see, wait a minute. Ooh, 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 ooh. receiving help, delegating authority, and interdependence. You've come to a point where going it alone is no longer optimal for you. Life has a way of presenting you with the perfect people to align with who can give you a leg up during this next phase of your journey. Help comes to you in all the areas of your life where you need a boost. The trick is to accept the aid so freely given. When you embrace interdependence, allowing teamwork and independence to commingle, miracles happen. Now is the time. Now is the time. Okay. So let me read like the relationship message in this, because this is just the oracle message, but regarding relationships, relationships that are healthy thrive on interdependence. It's important to recognize that you need others as much as they need you. You must allow people to support you, just as you are there for them. This is a time to be vulnerable, to speak up about your needs, and to ask them to be fulfilled. Trust. You will be met with kindness and love. Don't expect others to read your mind, though. Ask and it is given. So, this is kind of telling me that maybe somebody in the relationship, you might know what this means. I don't know. But I mean, if you hear this, you know what's going on with you. Allow people to support you. It's like, this is kind of saying just, allow yourself to be vulnerable. Trust the other person enough to be vulnerable with. I don't know if that was an issue with them feeling like you weren't being vulnerable or soft and pink enough, you know what I'm saying? Like that kind of thing. Don't expect others to read your mind, though. Ask and it is given. So I don't know if they expected you to read their mind, or he expected, or you expected him to read your mind. But it seems like there is, with the amethyst card, with the leg up following that, it seems like, there's just some interpersonal, not interpersonal, but, personal work that needs to be done, and to embrace that, love on that, and to be vulnerable enough. Like, trust the other person to be vulnerable. Maybe they felt like they couldn't penetrate that part of you, that little girl part of you, to, they might not have felt like they had your whole heart. You know what I mean? And if they felt like they didn't have your whole heart, it might be because that part hasn't been healed. And, okay, so, all right, let me just get to it. Let me get to the tarot, the trusty tarot. Okay, let's get some more guidance. We have the amethyst card, the leg up card. This is for my girl regarding okay. Just waiting for a card to pop out because that's spirit. Just not too many cards at once, please. Maybe people weren't feeling that they were being nurtured enough. Okay, so here we have the 9 of Wands, right? So this gentleman here, he has been through a battle, right? He has been through a lot. He is tired. So, the wands represent passion and, creativity and courage and all that stuff. But this gentleman here, he is tired because he has gone through it. Like, look at the bandage on his head. But still he fights on. He still, he still manages to continue even though he's been through a lot. I mean, if you look at it, it's the 9 of Wands, right? So it goes up into the 10. So he's still in the fight. Like, he's still holding on. Actually, it looks like he's exhausted, but he's still moving on. All right. So I'm not sure if this is you or him, but somebody's been through a lot. But they're still willing to hang in there, right? So let's get some clarification about this 9 of Wands. Come on, Spirit. This is for my girl. All right, the 9 of Wands. Let's get some clarification so I can help my girlie. All right, this here. Okay, so now we have the Four of Pentacles. This gentleman is holding on for dear life, right? He's not opening up, right? He's closed off. He's holding on too tightly to what he values, okay? But he's not really trusting. He's not trusting the process. If he like, for instance, we'll relate it back to relationship, but what's going on is he's holding on, you see, like he's not letting go of any of the coin, right? Of the self-worth, or letting go of, he doesn't believe that there's enough money. Okay? He doesn't believe that source will provide all of his needs. So he just like, let me hold on. He got money on his mind. He's holding on. He's, like, I'm not letting go because I don't know if I'll get this again, right? So relating it to the relationship, like what could have happened, somebody might not be opening up. Somebody might have been hurt so much that they're like, fuck it, I'm not sure if I trust you to give you everything. I've been through so much. Or it could be like, let's see, maybe somebody's been, I'm not going to say arguing. I can't say that. But somebody's been through a lot. And then, I don't know, as a result, that could be that they just didn't, like, fuck it, I'm just gonna, somebody could have been possessive. I'm not sure if that's what I'm feeling, but your situation, of course. But as we go, through the story of what's going on with the amethyst, embrace that shadow self, that part of you that hasn't healed. You know what I'm saying? That part of you that's not trusting, that might be that part. Like, I'm thinking maybe when we keep looking, going with that theme of maybe not trusting or not opening up or not being that vulnerable. Because, how you're in mental health, like those secondary emotions or just being closed off, it's all under there. We all want to be loved. We all want to be penetrated. Pause. We all want to be penetrated in that way to where we feel emotionally safe, and all that stuff. But it's looking like with the amethyst card, not really trusting the process of opening up entirely and being vulnerable, asking for help when needed. And again, the leg up card was mentioning, remember, there's something that it said. Let's go back. I know that you probably remember what it said, but let me just follow me here. 34. The interdependence. So maybe he wasn't feeling like you were needing him. Like, everybody needs to feel needed, right? So this is like the part, like, the mom needs the baby as much as the baby needs the mom. So maybe what I'm seeing here is possibly you might not be feeling like, I don't need you, or something like that. Or I don't know, or it could have been him, right? But that resulted, for whatever reason, there could have been, a lot of somebody just went through a lot, like has gone through a lot. This journey has really tired him down, but he's not sitting down. He's still, in it for the fight. He's gonna win. You know what I'm saying? But then when you look here, I'm thinking that now, yeah, this person just won't open up. Somebody needed somebody else to open up more, right? And the other person might not have opened up because they didn't trust that other, either they didn't trust that other person with their heart. Let's figure this out. I'm not sure. This, let me just go with it. There might have been an argument. There might have been an argument, a lot of back and forth. Usually when I see this card, when it comes up, it didn't pop out though, but it was flipped up. So I'm thinking maybe Spirit just wanted me to see that, right? This person, there was an argument, and this person in the moment feels like, they won the argument, right? But there were things that were said, and somebody feels defeated. And you see the people that feel defeated are walking towards the water. So their feelings were hurt. You can't take back everything that you say. You can't take anything back actually. But there was an argument. Okay. And also numerically, that's a 5. 5 is about freedom, change. Okay, let's see if we can get some more guidance regarding my girl. Oh, wait. Too many cards came out at once. Just one at a time, please. One at a time, please. For my girl. And her. But I see here, I see the 3 of Cups. This is a celebration. This is coming together. This is good times. This could be talking about you guys at some point, when things were good. This could talk about a third party. When this comes up in relationship readings, it tends to talk about a third party. So I don't know if, I'll just leave it at that. I'm not sure. It popped out. There's a reason why it popped out. The cards never lie. If the cards don't resonate, it's just because maybe something I didn't say, maybe something that you're not aware of. But it popped out for a reason. So, all right. So I'm not sure if that's the reason why things went a certain way. I don't know if there were, but sometimes in readings, I'm not saying that it happened, but somebody could have stepped out, maybe. Yeah, so we can get clarification on that if you want. I don't know. You hit me up and ask me if you want me to clarify the 3 of Cups. I'm not doing it unless you ask. I'm going to see if Spirit reveals anything, all right? But I need you to let me know if this resonates at all. Okay. Because I'm thinking about switching up the way I'm doing readings. So, I'm just getting started at this, so I'm just trusting. All right. Okay. Any other cards for my girl regarding her question about her ex-husband? The Temperance card came out. This came out for my one girl yesterday, but this is basically about balance. I don't know if you're into the tarot, so you might know what this card means. It's so funny because when it came up yesterday, I was telling my girl today, it made sense to her. But I was like, maybe I need to read up more about this card, but intuiting, this is an alchemy card. This is changing, right? So in this reading, what it's about is when I'm, because, the cards mean different things by where they fall in the reading. But this is an alchemy card. This card is also about tempering your, balancing your chakras, your head with your heart. This is about turning something negative into positive in this situation. And it's about, it's about being balanced overall, just being balanced. I don't know if Yeah, just being balanced. I don't know why I'm thinking about, I should just go ahead and say it, but I'm not going to say it. But anyway, all right. Let me pull out let me I'm going to pull out like one or two more just so I can get some clarification. Okay. It's about my girl, my husband. So this right here is um, the Eight of Swords. So I'm thinking that, okay, the Eight of Swords, you see this woman? She is, she's standing in front of a castle, and there's some things that she just, her eyes are covered, and, she's bound. But what happens is, this is the card that's about like, you've been in a space mentally that hasn't been ideal, but if you notice, she can get out. This is kind of her doing. um it's not like too emotional, we don't see a lot of water in the picture, but this is something to where there's something that she's choosing not to see, or she's just not clear about. I don't know if she's not clear about this. I'm not sure, but there's something she's feeling. Um, she's feeling kind of like a victim. I don't know. This could be you or him, kind of feeling like a victim in the relationship somehow. Sometimes it's when needs aren't being met and stuff like that. But this is the swords, so this is like a mental thing. So what's going on, this comes before the Nine of Swords, and that's about anxiety and staying up all night. This is like a step before that, right? So this is just being in a state of, like disharmony within the mind, but it's within the person's control to get out of it. She can get out of that, you know what I mean? So this is more like, um stinking thinking, just think of, yeah, I'll leave it at that. Okay. So I want to end on another, let me take one. I hope this is making sense to you, girlie. I'm trying, different decks. I'm trying different decks just to see. And again, if this doesn't resonate, I hope it does. I hope some of it's making sense. Okay, one last, or should I get clarification about the Eight of Wands? I mean the Eight of Swords. Let me see. Yeah, let me get clarification about, should I? Let me do an oracle card. Let me see. And this is fun for me. If you want me to do another reading, if this resonates, you're like, girl, do another one. Like, I'm with it. I'm trying to, get all this experience. Okay, so yeah, an oracle card for my girl, please. Should I do this one or a crystal one? Okay, oracle card for my girl. Or I might do two more. Oh, this came out the other. Okay. This is flexible, and this is a 19, so that's a 1. So maybe someone was being inflexible or not really, taking, looking at the other person's perspective in the relationship at that time. They weren't really compromising at some point. Like, it has to like kind of be my way. They weren't really wanting to compromise. Um, yeah, and it is a 1, so that's like kind of starting over. This being is on an egg, which is like new beginnings, but it is in reverse. So I will read about this. All right, so flexible. So upright, it's teachability, open-mindedness, being adaptable without compromising what's most important, right? But in the relationship, in the reverse, it says, when you or someone else becomes too rigid, you lose the access to growth and untapped potential and find yourself in a us versus them or a me versus you scenario. Loosen up, open your mind and heart, and see if a more flexible approach feels better. excuse me, rigidity will set you up for a fight where there are only losers and no winners. Could you find a way to bring about a result that is mutually beneficial? Meet in the middle. Spirit makes a great mediator. So open up your mind and heart. Remember how we were talking about the mind and heart with this card? So yeah, girly, I'm hoping this resonates a little bit. It gives you some type of clarity or something like that. I didn't know if you didn't put a question, you didn't, put a question there. So I was like, okay, well, what about this person, right? So if you have like a question, but just like hit me up and let me know if this resonated at all, if it made any sense. Okay, I love you. You're my girl. Okay, bye.